Hey, you know what? Before I start my presentation, I'm just going to just lay some stuff out on the line. Is that cool? All right. Let me ask you a question. How many people in this room have had challenges? Hands up, just hands up high. Okay. Whether they're challenges in life or challenges in business, anybody in this room ever just been hurt, let down? Hands up. Anybody been hurt, let down? Okay. Before I talk about business, let me tell you about what I do and why I do it. Number one, I am a success results coach. So what I do is I take 12 weeks and I help anyone to change where they're at to where they want to be. Simple as that, okay? Have I been let down? Yes. Have I been hurt? Yes. Do I know anything about business? Heaps. Heaps about business. You know why? Because the most important thing that you need to know about business is that business does not start with a manual. Business does not start with a book. It doesn't start with the internet. It doesn't start with research. Business starts with you. You. Some of the questions that I heard during the last presentation from the speaker was about, the mechanics and you talked about your dad and what he did. And we're talking about a whole different lot of things. But the most important thing is you. And what do you want to accomplish? And what are you willing to do? And most importantly, what are you willing to give up? How many people in this room are willing to give up some stuff to be successful in business? Who's willing to give up some stuff? Hands up if you're willing to give up some stuff. A lot of people want to give up some stuff. But you know what happens? Most people, a lot of people give up the what? The wrong stuff. Simon talked about having a plan, having a why. If you don't have a why, you don't have a plan, you give up the wrong stuff. And then the first thing you say was, oh, that business didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because you didn't have a plan and you didn't execute. That's why I do what I do right now. You see, I was in business. I was a professional athlete. Oh, that's a business, baby. Let me tell you, that's a business. Because you get up every single day, and in order for you to keep your job, you must do what? Perform. You got to perform. Because on game day, who's watching you? The fans, the media, the press, your lawyers, your agents. And what do they want to see you do? They want to see you rise to the occasion. And if you don't, what's the first thing they say? Say it again. See you later. See you later. Goodbye. Or you're a bum. Oh, they called me a bum, man. I pick up the newspapers. Oh, Eric Bailey, he's too old. He can't move. Sack him. Get a young guy in here. Get somebody who knows what they're doing. But deep down in here, in my heart, in my core, what did I have to ask myself? Why? Why are they saying this? Or, more importantly, why did I underperform? Anybody in this room ever underperformed in a job? Hands up if you underperformed. Hands up if you have. Okay, why did you underperform? Say it again. You hated your job. Why else? Why else would you underperform?
There's no reason to do anything more.
No reason to do anything more. What else? Say it again. Unprepared and complacency. And that's the way I was. Let me tell you what I used to do, okay? You might relate to this. You're in your business and you're doing it so well. You're doing it well. You're getting good results. I was getting good results. I was averaging 25 points a game, 10 rebounds, and people were coming up to me, oh, can I have your autograph? Yeah, baby, you can have my autograph. Yeah, what's up? You want me to sign a body part? Bring it on over here. It was good. I was picking up the newspaper. Oh, Eric Bailey, all league. He's the man. I was like, oh, baby, I walk into a restaurant. In a restaurant, I play for the Melbourne Tigers. Right here in Melbourne, in a restaurant, I sit down. They, you're Eric Bailey, aren't you? Yes. No charge for you. Woo! I can have anything on the menu. And I bought into it. You know why? Because I didn't understand that what I did yesterday does not necessarily mean that I'm going to do it like that today and tomorrow. You see, what I did yesterday, it doesn't matter. So what you did at your job yesterday, so what? Who cares? What you did last week, who cares? You might come home and say, oh, I got a raise. Boss came up to me and said, you got potential. You're going somewhere. And then you decide, I don't have to work hard anymore. I can just skate by on my natural ability or my good looks. Hey, baby, how you doing? How many people skate by? Anybody here skate by? Hands up if you used to skate by, slide by. Put them up. We got a few people slide by. All right, let me tell you that. So that's what I did. So then you know what happened? My coach walked over to me and said, hey, Eric, you scored 25 points the last 4 games, but today you got 12. What's the problem? I'm like, just had a bad game. So you know what he said? He said, you scored 12 points because during the week you underperformed when you needed it most. You see, I dropped the ball on me. So it was my business, the team, the fans? No, the business was me. What is your business? Who do you represent? What is your foundation that catapults you from where you are now to where you want to be? What is it? How many people in this room have actually identified what is your core structure? What is your platform? How many people have done that before? Just a few hands. Who has not worked on that before? Hands up. Hands up if you have not worked on that before. You know what? Until you have a strong structure and a strong foundation, you can be very, very, very easily what? Influenced and what? Manipulated and what else? Distracted and what? Knocked down. That's right, knocked down. 2 components that I want you to think about during my presentation. Please write this down. Number 1, what is your core foundation? Foundation meaning, where does your values, your structure, your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations, where do they resonate first? Where are they? Where are they embedded? Is it strong? Does it come from a place of strength? Does it come from a place that you know that's good and whole and solid? That's number 1. Number 2, who do you have around you that can continually provide you with the ingredients and the components to keep that foundation strong? Who's around you? Who have you built around you that can provide you with those materials, that can provide you with those fundamentals, who can always make sure, hey, you know what? We need to put some more of this in it, or we better put some more of that in it. Because without those 2 components, your business, your entity, your success, your ideas, all of that is subject to crumble, or you get distracted, or you just don't reach where you want to be in life. Business success comes with sacrifice. One individual that I know who had all the talent, he had all the natural ability, started his career by being told that he wasn't mentally strong. And if you're not mentally strong, then you can't be perceived or even thought of as Mr. Clutch or Mrs. Clutch. What is Mr. Clutch or Mrs. Clutch? Anybody know? What does the word clutch mean? Think about it. Clutch. Important. Clutch. A clutch performer is someone, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the obstacles are, they overperform. How many people in this room overperform? How many people underperform? Hands up. I'm holding you accountable for everything. Right. You underperform, right? Okay. So my talk is about you being able to overperform. All right. Everybody say overperform. Write this on your piece of paper. After today, I will always overperform. Because if you overperform, then you do something very special. You take people around you to a higher level. You take other people to a higher level. If are you married, sir? You have a wife? You have kids? Yep. You have staff? No. Kids? Okay. You have farm animals? Yes, of course you do. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Okay, if you overperform yourself, you can't help but take the next person with you to another level. You know why? Because you're setting an example of what success is all about. When the game is on the line, when the storms are rolling in, I want the last shot. I want to take it. And you know why I want to take it? Because I'm arrogant? No. Because I'm confident? Possibly. Because I want the glory? No. But because during the week and the week before that and right before the game, I put myself into a state of mental connection with the outcome that I wanted. You see, that's the difference between success and failure. It's seeing your result before you even go on the court. You got to believe it. If you're in business, you have to believe that every day success is right there. You can't hope for it. You can't wish for it. You got to know it's there. If you're in a relationship, when you walk in the front door, you have to already know that your partner is 100% on the same page with you in order for that relationship to go to where you want it to go. Because if you're questioning the resolve of either one of the partners, then guess what? You're never going to give 100%. Is that right? You got to know it. And a relationship is a much difficult proposition than really business. Because relationships is heart, it's feelings, it's connections. This morning, I want to talk to you about a central theme that visually our hopes will give you an understanding of what I'm talking about. The title of my presentation is Eagle Size Your Business in 2011. It's on the screen. Eagle size. Everybody say eagle size. Eagle size. Has anybody ever seen an eagle before? Hands up if you've seen an eagle. Incredible creatures, yeah? I told you that I was in business, okay? About 12 years ago, when I was a professional athlete going into a business, I lost it all. And when I say lost it all, I do mean lost it all. Every cent had to move from a nice house to a unit. Got very strict because of stress. And my wife said to me, goodbye. And she says, oh, and by the way, your daughter's coming with me. How many of you know that that's a low place to be? When you lose everything in your family. And you know what I had to do then? I had to reprioritize my life. I had to look at myself and ask myself some questions. Where are my core values? Where are my beliefs? What's my foundation? You see, I had wavered. And then I realized, okay, if I wanted to get all of that back, then I had to have a whole new business model. So I searched around and came up with some reflection and started asking myself some serious questions. Questions that I want you to ask yourself. Because it doesn't matter what any of the speakers say, and you've had some fantastic speakers. It doesn't matter what they say. The most important thing is, what do you believe and what do you feel about yourself going into when you leave this seminar? You see, anybody can write some notes. Anybody can do that. But see, everybody can't apply them. Because some people don't believe that the notes that they've written are really for them. But I want to tell you something, looking at each and every one of you, you've sacrificed your money, you've sacrificed your time, and you're here. And if you're here in the room, then that means you are certainly searching for something. So I'm going to advise each and every one of you to, while you're here, be connected with the spoken word. And then when you leave here, get reconnected with the written word. And after you get reconnected with the written word, then put all that into practice and take some physical action. Move closer and closer and closer to your destiny because you deserve success. Is that right? How many in this room agree you deserve more than what you have right now? Because if you deserve more than what you have right now, then what's stopping you? You know what? You know what's stopping you, sir? I don't know. What's your name, sir? Jamil. You know what's stopping you, man? No. You. That's it. You can't blame anybody. How many you people who's blamed something or somebody else before? Who's been a blamer? Oh, it's them. Or it's, okay, right. You blame the government. You blame the world. You blame your spouse. You blame your kids. You blame your dog or your cat. You blame your parents for what they did. Hey, it's not about blaming. It's about accepting what has happened and do what? Mary, move on, right? You got to get moving where? Forward. Don't look back. Because when you look back, you know what you do? You invite the past to do what? Hold on to you, hang on, pull you down, tell you shouldn't go any further. And if you do that, my friend, doesn't matter what kind of ideas that you want to go forward with, you won't proceed. I'm not going to talk to you about business practices because that's not my field of expertise. My field of expertise is mental practices. What you think about, how you feel about yourself, and then a business model of what you should be following every day. I'm going to go through my presentation, and after each point, I want you to take a little bit of time and then ask yourself, wow, how does that apply to me? Because I want you to what? Eagle size your business. Eagle size. Number one, let's look at the eagle. Eagles fly alone at a high altitude and not with the sparrows or other small birds. No other bird can get to the height of an eagle. No other bird can get to the height of an eagle. Self-reflection. How many people in this room are flying with sparrows and robins and vultures? Hands up. Oh, yes, my brother. How you doing? Just a new guy in the room. Did you know, you didn't notice, but we reward crowd participation and interaction. We do two things. I either give you push-ups or I give you prizes for good stuff that you said. Now, what did you just say?
Turkeys on the ground.
Turkeys on the ground. Anybody in this room got some turkeys on the ground you've been hanging out with? Hands up, hands up, hands up, right? That's no good. You got to get rid of those turkeys because you know what they do? They just gobble up, gobble, gobble, gobble. They gobble up your dreams. You can be sitting somewhere and you can say to yourself, oh, man, Peter, I've got an amazing opportunity. I just want to share it with you. And Peter's telling this person exactly what they think. And this person says, oh, why do you think that you can do that, Peter? You're just Peter. You live in the country. You're never going to be any better than what you are right now, Peter. That's a turkey. He's gobbling up your dreams. How many people have turkeys around them? Do me a favor right now. Make a list of 5 turkeys around you. Go ahead, put their names down. No, sir, I'm not joking with you because I'm all about the visual. Write down the names of the 5 turkeys who are hanging around you. Write them down right now. We're going to do a little process of elimination right now. 5 turkeys. Just put their names down. You don't have to show them this. You don't have to say, look, I called you a turkey yesterday. Just put their names down. Just put 5 turkeys that are in your circle of influence. Let's take it one step further. Next to their name, I want you to write down, what are they gobbling from you? What are they gobbling from you? I'll give you an example. I shouldn't say this because this is going on film. No, I'm not even going to say this. I'm not, because if this person actually see, oh, I can't believe you said it about, no, I'm not going to say it. Let me just make this point right now. When you're looking at your list, if we're going to be honest with each other, hey, you got to come clean, right? That turkey could be your wife. It could be your husband. It could be your daughter, your brother, your sister. It could be a family member. So, hey, just write it down. Now, I'm not suggesting that you squash your siblings or anything like that, but you at least find a way to diplomatically say, shut the hell up now. So put that down. Put it down there, all right? You got to stay away from those. You got some turkeys around you, man? How many? Wow, you could fill up a whole page, huh? All right. Okay, so my point here is, if you want to succeed, then fly with the like-minded people. Fly with the people who know what it's like to be at that altitude. If you try to take someone who's living down here with you up here, what's going to happen? They're going to do what? Why? They're going to pull you down because they can't survive up there. They're not ready. They're going to hold on to you. They're going to drag you down. And guess what? Both of you are going to fail. So what you need to do is associate yourself on a high level with people who can help you get to where you want to be. Simple as that. Jamie talked about it. The other speakers have talked about mentorship and being around people who can add value, not devalue you. So the next line there says, stay away from sparrows and ravens. Eagles fly with eagles. Who wants to be an eagle? Yes, of course you do. Then stay away from those other birds. Check out this one. Eagles have a strong vision. They have the ability to focus on their target for up to 5 kilometers away. 5 kilometers away. When an eagle sights his prey, he narrows his focus on it and sets out to get it no matter what the obstacles. The eagle will not move his focus from the prey until he grabs it. Until he grabs it. Young lady here on the end, when Simon was talking, I heard your conversation, and Simon mentioned having a vision and having why. I understand what you were saying, but in the same instance, unless you can specifically hone in on to what it is that resonates with you, there's going to be very difficult for you to actually capture something that's going to be sustainable for you indefinitely. Your research, your time, your efforts needs to be honed in like an eagle. Give an example. If an eagle was flying and 5 kilometers away, there was a deer, a cow, a moose, a turkey, and a mouse. He hadn't eaten in a while, and he was really, really, really hungry. What do you think the eagle would focus on? Say it again. The mouse? Wait, what planet are you on, man? Did you hear me say the eagle was hungry? Do you think 5 kilometers away he would be saying, oh, that mouse looks yummy, yum, yum? No, man, he want a substantial meal. Let me ask you this question. If you hadn't eaten in 5 days and you had a choice of sushi, a hamburger, a 5-course meal with everything and a bowl of Cheerios and an apple, what would you take? Oh, man, come on. Stand up, man. Stand up. I don't think you're with us today. Put your hands together. Make some noise in the room. Give this man. I need to talk to this man. Give him a microphone. Because I'm a coach. I don't like giving up until my students understand where I'm coming from. So what you want to say to me, my brother? Go ahead.
With the mouse thing, you have to get fed first before you target the bigger prey. So that's my perspective.
That's your perspective? Yes. Let me break this down to you right now, okay? I want you guys to listen to this. Okay, if you dream, right? How many people dream? Okay, everybody dreams, okay? Let's just say it takes you 20 minutes to dream, okay? You have a time limit on your dreams. You really don't, but you have 20 minutes to dream, okay? Would you rather dream a 20-minute amazing out-of-the-box dream, or would you rather dream a 20-minute nonsense, nothing dream? Which one? Big one. The big one. Wouldn't you take the big box if you could have it? Yes. Oh, you with me now? Okay, so my point is right here, right, is that you have to focus in on something that resonates with you that's going to fill you. Going to fill you up. The mouse ain't going to fill him up. He got to go for something. He's hungry, man. You guys know each other? No. You don't know? You don't want to know him now, huh? You were thinking, he looks good over here, but you think, what's wrong with his mental? No, I'm just playing with you, man. Everything's good. Okay. Huh? He's your brother. Oh, he's the turkey in the family, huh? We cool though, right? Yeah. Okay, so you get my point. Okay, so you've got to focus in on what it is. Narrow it down. 5 kilometers. That's a long way. That's, even with your glasses, could you see 5 kilometers away, man? Definitely not. So that means the ego has what? Superior vision. You know one thing about vision? I'm an expert on vision. You see, great vision is not directly correlated with what you see. Did you know that? Just because you see it doesn't mean you're going to get it. Because if I go into a store and I see a Hugo Boss suit, Hugo Boss shoes, Hugo Boss tie, shirt, hat, Hugo Boss cologne, and the combined cost would be $7,000. And I look at it and I say, wow, I see it and I want it. But if I take out my credit card and I try to swipe it through and I've only got $2,000 on my card, what are they going to tell me?
Sorry, can't have it.
Why? Insufficient funds. That's right, insufficient funds, which meant that I haven't worked hard enough to be in a position to afford all of that, right? So now that suit is still a what? Dream. It's still a dream. And it's not reality until I have the capital or the funds to make it happen. So that means I got to go back and do what? I got to work on some things, right? I got to do a lot of work. So when you have a vision, that means you must work really hard and feel it in here in order to get it. That ego done a lot of work to be able to fly and see that far. But then once they see it, they hone in on it. They don't get distracted. I heard distracted in here quite a few times this morning. Anybody in this room distracted? Hands up. Anybody distracted in the relationships? Let's just be honest. Anybody distracted in work? Anybody distracted in health? Yeah, okay, don't get me started on the health thing now, okay? Let me tell you this right now. See, with my coaching, what I do, I'm not just about this. I'm about this. Because I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many cars, how many Rolexes you have, how many suits you have. If you're not feeling good, if you're not breathing good, if you're not eating well, then you know what? It's all short-lived. Because you can have all the riches on the planet and die and never be able to use any of it. And the reason why people don't do all those things is because they get distracted with stuff instead of what's most important, and that's the body. You see, an ego, supreme athlete. Michael Jordan, supreme athlete. How can someone who's just played 46 minutes be double teamed, triple teamed, beaten down to the ground, and in the last 5 seconds of the game have more stamina, more energy, and more substance for like 5 seconds than he did before he started the game. I'll tell you why. Because as the game gets on and on and on, he gets what? Stronger, because he's more committed. As a racer, as a runner gets closer and closer to the finish line, he calls up on his reserves. Now, where do you build those reserves? On the practice field, in seminars, in your books, in your tapes, in your personal development, in your growth, in your ego mastermind groups with your mentor. You can't make it in business unless you're taking care of everything. Because everything works together for one purpose, one cause. I know what I'm talking about. When you're sitting in a unit and you have no furniture and you've been used to making really good money and eating wherever you want to go, and you don't even have your daughter laughing and making noise and running around, and you don't even have your partner telling you that you take out the trash and reline the trash can. We don't have any of that anymore. You then have to say to yourself, whoa, I've hit rock bottom. Redefine your ego-like status. Having a vision and remaining focused, no matter what the obstacle, and you will succeed. When we talk about vision, there's a couple of people, one person in particular stands out to me. His name was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As an African American growing up in South Central Los Angeles in the 60s, I was told that because of the color of my skin, that I couldn't go to college. I was told that I could never get the kind of job that would allow me to travel or buy stuff. I was told that by the time I'm 17, you'll be like all those other little black kids in South Central Los Angeles. You'll join a gang. You're going to do drugs. You'll go to jail. I was told by police on the streets, listen, we're watching you. We know you're up to no good. And so many other people like myself lived in fear. Martin Luther King Jr. came along and said, you know what? I've seen enough. So this is what I'm going to do as a man, as a person. He said, my business is to help not just black people, but white people, but blue people, purple people, green people, people of all color, just be equal and be able to do whatever they want to do, wherever they work, wherever they go. He said, when you jump on a bus, just because you're black doesn't mean you got to go and sit in the back of the bus. Just because you're a female, you don't just have to be a secretary. You can be a prime minister, you can be a doctor, you can be but guess what? The sparrows and the vultures and all of those other low-flying creatures and turkeys, you know what they did, right? They said to him, you're crazy, you're an idiot, you're a fool. They went one step further. They tortured him. They sicked dogs on him. They beat him down. They put him in jail. They put him in prison. But you know what? Because of his foundation, because of his conviction, he said, I don't care what you do to me. My business and my business principles, they're paramount, so I'm not giving up. Because he had vision. When they couldn't break him and make him quit, right before the ultimate sacrifice, he gave this speech. And one of the lines in the speech said, don't judge me by the color of my skin, but judge me by the content of my character. Character. And character, my friend, is closely aligned with integrity, foundation, belief systems, vision. And when he gave that speech, the world took notice of him. But the vultures and the turkeys said, you know what? That's it. We had enough of you. So they killed him. They killed him. They shot him dead. But his business was so entrenched. His legacy was just so powerful that even though he died, his business endured for generations on after that. Wow. How many of you know that's a pretty good business model? Hands up. How many people in this room think of themselves as visionaries and legendary business owners who can sustain something like that? Hands up. Is anybody in this room who can do that? See, that's what it's all about. See, what I'm talking about right now is not talking about your business today. I don't care if you make $1,000 a day. I don't care if you make $5,000 in a week. I don't care what you do for the next 12 months or 20. But what can you do sustainable? That's what business is all about. This Business Academy, this 3-day event is that, okay, what can you do to make sure that your business, right, from now until the day you die and even after you die is still producing the goods, what you put into it right now. Michael Jordan doesn't play basketball anymore, doesn't do anything on the court anymore, but every year he makes $200 million. Why? He's not an athlete anymore, but the name, the brand, the business model lives on, because when he was in business, he set himself up for tomorrow. That's what an eagle will do. An eagle will set himself up for his next prey because he has vision. How many people in this room have actually written down exactly, to the letter, to the specific date, to the specific time, to the specific point of what your vision for your future is? How many people have done that? Who has not done that? Hands up. Hands up if you have not. Put them up high. Put them up if you have not. Okay, let me tell you something right now. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to empower you. I'm here to enlighten you. Every speaker on the stage will spend a little bit of time and talk about vision and talk about goals and talk about mindset. If you can't see it, this is bad English what I'm getting ready to say. I know I'm saying, so don't think I'm crazy, right? If you can't see it, then you won't saw it. Write that down. Go ahead, write it down. If you can't see it, you won't saw it. I know it's bad English, and you guys in the back, what's this guy talking about? I know it's not good English, so I'm just trying to prove a point right now, okay? If you can't see it, you won't saw it. Did you write it down already? Okay, let me tell you about somebody who could see it, and then it was saw. Walt Disney. Anybody been to Disneyland? Disney World? Anybody watch Bugs Bunny or any crazy cartoons? Okay, Walt Disney, here he was back in the 1930s or whatever it was. He sat on a big plot of land and looked around and said, wow, wouldn't it be nice over there if I built this? Wouldn't it be nice if I built this? And people around him was like, oh yeah, that's possible, that's possible. So then they started the construction. They started building, and they were getting through it. Everything was looking good. And then one day he was sitting out there in another part of all this land, and he was just looking. He was just looking. He was just marveling, looking. And finally someone came over to him and said, hey, Walt, what are you doing? And Walt said, wow, look right there. Look at the Space Mountain. It's a mountain. And they said, Walt, have you been drinking? He said, no. They wanted to put him in a Salem asylum. They thought he was crazy because there was nothing there. He described it. It's going to be this high, this wide. It's going to have this many loops. This many people will be able to go through it every day. Oh, he was to the letter. He was so descriptive. And they said to him, you're hallucinating. About 15 years later, after Walt was dead, there was a ceremony And at the ceremony, his wife was still alive, and she was sitting there, and the mayor, the governor, on the stage and said, "We dedicate this mountain to Walt Disney. It's a shame that he never lived to see it to its completion." They clapped and cut the ribbon and champagne and confetti, and his wife hobbled up to the podium and she said, "Thank you, Mr. Mayor, but I just want to correct you. Walt could see it back then before we saw it today. Because if he didn't see it, then it wouldn't have never got built." You see, what you see, your dreams, your goals, your business, you have to see it first before anybody else can buy into it. You want a loan for your business, whatever it is that you need to get your business started, unless you feel it, unless you live it, you breathe it, no one's going to buy into it. And that's why your fundamentals, your foundations have to be strong. Have a vision and remain focused no matter what obstacles, and you will succeed. Wow, this next one. Eagles do not eat dead things. They feed on only fresh prey. Vultures eat dead animals, but eagles will not. What is the relevance to you? And I come back to you, my friend, sitting on the end here. Simon was talking about trends. You're in business. You need to seek out the stuff that's live, the stuff that's happening. Not going back over rehashed old stuff doesn't serve you or anybody else any good purpose. You got to go after the stuff that's popping, the stuff that makes you feel alive. Business is about change. It's about thriving. It's about good ideas, good creative ideas. It's about new beginnings. It's about making sure that you're up to breast with the most recent technology. It's about hanging around people who got great ideas. You see, a lot of business goes stale because they stop learning. How many people here do a lot on personal development? Hands up. How many people do a lot on training techniques and modern technology? Hands up. How many people in this room Skype? How many people that have go to meeting rooms? How many people are really up to date with all the modern technology on the internet? How many people are not? Hands up, hands up, hands up. Okay, you need to do something about that, okay? I know in the room right now there's a young lady here who's involved in social media, social networking, has an unbelievable business, okay? That's the type of person you need to see and say, hey, listen, I don't know a lot about Facebook or MySpace or TV, internet, or ads and all of that kind of stuff. But in order for you to take your business to the next level, you need to invest in that. Otherwise, you know what you're doing? You are eating dead animals. Because if you're relying on what you did 10 years ago, forget it. You're out of business. If you don't have a website, you're out of business. If your website doesn't have YouTube, if your website's not interactive, if your website isn't popping, you know, you got pictures, you got slides. If you don't have e-commerce or you don't have a shopping cart, if you don't have all that kind of stuff, man, I'm sorry. You are like, woo, you're Stone Age. You see, I'm 50 years old. 50. I know, baby, it's hard to believe I'm 50, huh? You, I thought you were 25. I'm 50 years old, and I'm still learning. My daughter, I'm sitting there on my computer doing this. She said, Daddy, get out the way. What are you trying to type? And she's send, gone. I'm like, wow. But here I am, click, 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 click. And I said, baby, can you do me a favor? I'm just trying to copy and paste something. I was like, she said, get out the way. You see, I'm still learning. Why? Because I don't want to do it like I used to. I don't want to write a letter and put it in the mail. No. Update your technology. Your brain is the best and biggest computer on the planet. You know that? You knew that, though, didn't you? That's right. So you guys go and you buy stuff for your computer, you update your computer, you read software and stuff, and you don't even use a computer, so do it to your brain. Upgrade that baby, put in new information, because if you don't, be careful with what you feed your eyes and your ears with, especially in movies and on TV. Steer clear of outdated old information. Always do your research well. What you put in here and in here, it sticks. It stays in here. All right, I love this. I love this slide here. Oh, I love this star here. You guys can read this. Eagles love the storm. When clouds gather, the eagle gets excited. When the clouds gather, the eagle gets excited. I'm like that now. I love it when I hear obstacles. I love it when people challenge me and say I can't do anything. This gives the eagle opportunity to glide and rest its wings. In the meantime, all of the other birds hide in the leaves and branches of the trees. Love it! Because that challenges you. I've been challenged my entire life. Love it. You know why I love it? Because when I make it through, I can look in the mirror and say, man, you didn't quit. If you can get through that, you can get through anything. You've been challenged before? Some stuff has been confronting to you? Did you get through it? Yep. How'd you feel when you got through it?
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. It makes you feel like you can do anything, right?
You grow 6 inches taller.
I don't want to be 6 inches taller, man. I'm tall enough. But let me tell you something. When obstacles come my way, it reminds me of how I fought my life. Oh, yeah. Now, I didn't punch nobody, not really, but I'm just saying. I love challenges because after a challenge, you feel like nothing can beat you down. The day I was born, the very day I was born, storms came. Big storms came. Clouds came. It was not pretty when I came into the world. Because when I came into the world, guess what happened? The first thing I heard was, oh, we got a boy. And then my mother said, oh, I wanted a girl. And then they talked about what I was going to do and accomplish and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, both of you guys be quiet. Then the doctors came over to me and said, oh, you got a boy, but you know what? We think he's sick. So they took me away and did some tests, and they came back and said, oh, look, I'm so sorry. Storms, they've got your son. He'll never run. He'll never play sport. He's going to be a sick child. Then the storms got bigger. Because then my parents had to make a decision. They said, right, he's not an eagle. He's a turkey or a vulture. Because he won't be able to see 5 kilometers away and be successful in life. Let's go home and think about what we're going to do. That's a pretty big storm. Last year, November 26th, on my 50th birthday, guess what? I woke up, looked in the mirror, and realized, wow, my parents haven't come back. They never came back. They chose starting over rather than maybe coach me and mentor me to be an eagle. They dropped the ball. For 50 years, I've had to struggle with the fact that, wow, I was born a vulture or a turkey, but I had to evolve into an eagle if I wanted to survive. And that's why now there isn't a challenge or an obstacle in the world that can confront me because I know where I came from. The next time you are confronted or you are challenged, do me one favor. Go back to something that you really, really had to deal with. Relive how you felt when you went through it. Relive how you actually put the action plan in place to get through it, and then think about how you felt when you got through it. See, that's what I do now. We can use the storms of life to rise to greater heights. Achievers relish challenges and use them. And use them. And use them. Okay. This here goes for business, relationships, and life. I tried to put as much in the slide so that you could see it, but I'll just go through it and put you in the picture so you understand. When a female eagle chooses a mate, this is what the eagle does. The eagle, the female eagle, will get a twig. Everybody know what a twig is? Small little branch thing. And the female eagle will fly high. I'm talking about really high. You're squinching your eyes to try to see that, aren't you? Yeah. They will fly high, and you know what they will do? They will drop the twig all the way to the ground, and then the male eagle has to follow it all the way down. And the trick is, if the male eagle can actually get the twig before it hits the ground, then the female eagle will consider. I didn't say just buy into, oh yeah, I'm yours now. The female eagle will consider, possible you might be the right one. That's right, shortlist, right? Because that's what women, they shortlist us, huh? That's to tell. We get shortlist for everything. So then what happens is, then the male eagle has to fly all the way back up into, oh, brother, my man, we got to work hard. He'll fly all the way back up, hand the twig back to the female, then she goes higher. They make us work. Drop it again. And then the male eagle flies all the way back down and tries to get it one more time and fly all the way back up. I love it. I'm sure you do. Now, check this out. This doesn't just happen 2 times. This goes on for hours. For hours. For hours, us men, Pete, I know, man, you're thinking, man, I don't know about this, huh? But for hours, we are tested. What are we tested for? Our commitment. Our commitment. Now remember, the presentation is called Eagle Size Your Business. What is this saying? You gotta have commitment level. The person that you choose as your mate, the person you choose in your business, the person you choose as your mentor, as your coach, you got to test them, see how committed they are. Are they willing to fall down to the bottom of the earth and then come back and, hey, that's what it's all about. Ask yourself around you, the people around you, are they committed to you? Hands up if they're totally, you know in your heart they're totally committed. Hands up. Hands up if you're not sure. Hands up if you're, oh, there you go. See what I'm saying? This is all business stuff. You know what? It's just business stuff presented a different way. You've heard it before. It's just put in a different context. Because trust and commitment is paramount in you having a great business. If you can't trust the person that you're in business with, if you can't trust the person who's working for you, what are you going to do? If you can't trust your spouse, what kind of relationship are you going to have? If you can't trust your body to perform late in the afternoon or late in the evenings or at night because you haven't eaten well, you haven't taken the right supplements, if you haven't taken care of your body, if you can't trust your body to say, right, okay, it's clutch time, it's time for me now to power on, I need that little bit of energy, hey, who can you blame? The Eagles, they got a powerful, powerful, powerful test. Whether in private life or in business, one should test commitment of people intended for partnership. 21st century, whether it's e-minis, whether it's Forex, whether it's business partnership, whether it's coach to coach, whatever it is, it takes a level of commitment and trust. All right. It's another one of those big slides, but it just meant so much for me to have it in here. The bottom line is this. When ready to lay the eggs, the female and the eagles identify a place high on a cliff. High on a cliff. Why? To protect yourself from danger. To protect yourself from vultures. Your business practices, where you do business, your mindset needs to be high, stored high, so you can overlook and see what's on the horizon. You see, business is really all about you looking after the needs of you. And the best way to do that when you're in a partnership is to make sure that each and every day that your practices are of high ethical standards. Your life that you live, high ethical standards. Your health practices, high ethical standards. You see, by doing that, then you can cope with all the other things that come along. When an eagle grows old, feathers become weak and cannot take him as fast as he should go. What does he do? I'll tell you what he does. He sheds himself. He does some house cleaning. Yeah, he does. He takes off all of the dirt and the grime, the muck, all the old feathers. He replaces it with the new and improved. You can't settle on what you did before. You now have to look at how you can shed all of that and come up with new ideas. Reinvent yourself. 21st century, when Jamie first started off, the company did some great things. It was amazing. But you know what Jamie realized? He was like, okay, that's great, but I'm in business for the long haul, the long term. So some things that I did 10, 15 years ago, I've now got to tweak those. I've got to do something else different. Why? Because the market demands the things that worked. Yes, I'm going to keep doing those. But there's other things that didn't work, and now I'm going to do something different. So what did he do? He shed himself. And you know what? It wasn't embarrassing. How many people in this room know you got to shed some stuff? Hands up if you got to shed some stuff. Put them up high. Let me see. If you got to shed some, okay, well, shed it then. It's no crime. You don't have to feel bad. Just let it go. Let it go. Because when you put on the new stuff, you feel stronger. Yeah, you're right, my friend. You will get 6 inches taller. You'll be 6'7". You'll be bald. You'll be black. You'll be cool, dog. You like that idea, huh? I'm going to give you a prize for that, man. Where's my prizes at? Joel, I got some prizes up here. Oh, here we got some prizes. Okay. Here we go. Got a home study. When you get to be 6'7" and black, man, let me check you out, man. I can say, that's my brother. All right, no problems, man. So that's what you have to do. This is why everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. I want you to turn to the person next to you. Give me some music, Rob. And I just want you to tell the person next to you, just tell them maybe 5 things you know you have to shed. Tell them about your feathers, your beak, whatever. Say, look, I got to get rid of some stuff. Tell them 5 things you got to get rid of. Go. Let's go. Go. Okay, so in saying that all of that, did anyone feel when they were speaking that they knew within their core that they definitely got to shed some stuff? Did anybody feel like, you got to get rid of some stuff? Okay, you know what? That's the most important part of my presentation. My presentation is about self-realization, okay? Just understanding who you are, understanding where you want to be in business, in life, in relationships, whatever, and then realizing that it's going to take some sacrifices in order to get there if you really, really, really want it. That's what it's all about. You're not the first, you won't be the first group or first human beings to ever have a business, but then go through some stuff in order to get on the other side. I was talking to my young man up here, my friend up here, who was very interactive with me a little bit earlier, and we came to an understanding. I understand him. He understands me. We're cool, right? Okay, but what I want to do now is I want to just share a clip with you of people who had big dreams. I mean, really big dreams, man. I'm talking about dreams that normal people would just go, you know what? I don't think I can get there. I'm just going to stop. Because other people think that you might stop doesn't mean that you have to just give up your dream. It just means that you have to now have a plan and be persistent. They did it. They're eagles. All of them are eagles, and they were just like us. This morning has been a personal journey for me. And one of the reasons why is that today is February 26th. Now, that doesn't mean a lot to you, but on February 26, 1919, a man by the name of Joe Bailey was born in a barn in Louisiana, United States. And Joe Bailey fought for his country in the Army. And after 30 years in the Army, he was discharged, injured severely, and couldn't have any children. And Joe Bailey and Mary Bailey walked into a hospital and saw me. And despite what the doctors told them about me not being an eagle, he looked at me and said, I see in you potential. I see something in you that you probably don't see yourself. He reached out to me and said, allow us to take you home with us, and we will raise you to the best of our ability, and we guarantee that if you work with us, one day you will fly like an eagle. They adopted me, and they took me to one of the worst neighborhoods in America, and this is what they've produced. And in 2007, Joe Bailey died. The ultimate coach, the ultimate mentor, the ultimate eagle who didn't just talk a good game, he walked an outstanding game. And it's just fitting for me that on his birthday today, I have an opportunity to coach you guys so that maybe just one of you will walk out of this room and go, you know what? I might have walked in as a turkey. I might have walked in as a robin or a sparrow, but I'm going to walk out an eagle, and I'm going to go out, and you know what? When I go out, I am going to fly with other eagles, because Jamie talked about modeling, being around successful people. He's one. On his birthday, my dad's, I feel like I was born to do this. Because without him and my mother, I wouldn't be where I am right now. The coach I had is the kind of coach I hope that I have become. Today, I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to share my story and my message. You have been a fantastic audience. We're going to have a 5-minute break, and then Jamie's going to come back up and deliver some more unbelievable content. Thank you very much. You guys have been great. Thank you. Everybody on your feet. Everybody on your feet. On your feet. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on.